Okay, so this is another short video on how to use the rule validation for assigning specific rules on entering data in cells. It's called the data validation feature. So let's say that you have a spreadsheet that you've created, but um, multiple people are going to be using it. So, in order to help reduce errors and to control what gets entered into specific cells, you can protect those cells by by setting up a validation rule to restrict what gets entered into those cells. And we can even have some warnings as soon as someone clicks into the cell to enter data. It's also sort of a reminder to yourself on what you want entered into a specific cell. So what we're going to do is we have a list of employees here, and they are allowed to work only 0 to 10 hours overtime in a week. And so what I want to do is set up a rule so if someone enters in more than 10, there will be a warning message alerting them that um, there's a limit to how many overtime hours an employee can work. So what I'm going to do is click in the first cell here, and I'm going to go to the data validation button that is on the data tab on the ribbon, and then there's a button over here towards the right called data validation. So I'm going to click that, and that brings up a little dialog box. And there are 3 steps to setting up the rule. And it's important not to click OK until you've done all 3 tabs up here, because if you click OK after only doing 1 or 2, the rule won't get saved and you have to just start all over again. So I'm going to start with settings, and I have a list of options. I'm going to sort of go ahead and choose decimal because that'll allow me to then enter um, parts of an hour. So like, 5.5 hours, for instance. So I'll click on decimal, and then this is where I can put in the specific limitations. So the minimum amount is going to be 0, maximum is going to be 10. And click, oh, no, don't want to click OK. Gonna go to the input message, and I give that a title that will sort of be what pops up when um, you click into that specific cell that has the rule in it. So I'm going to just type okay, and then the message that will be in this pop-up will say employees can only work in hours or fewer yeah, come on. Unless approved by management. Okay. Now I go to the third step to error alert, and I'm going to give this a title. Hold on there. And a message. Did did you get prior approval from the boss to enter more than 10 hours? Okay, now there's 3 sort of controls that you can choose. The stop control will not allow you to enter anything in the cell if it's greater than 10. You can enter between 3 and 10 or 0 and 10, but you can't enter any amount and it'll just lock that cell out. The third option is information. And what that will do is it will display the message, but you can still enter anything you want, which doesn't really provide much error control. So the best one, I think, is the warning option. So what that will do is it'll display the message, and then you will also get a yes, no option. If you click yes, that you got prior approval, then you can enter in a higher amount. If you click no, then you'll just be, it won't accept anything higher than 10. Okay, so let's see how this works. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And there's the initial. So as soon as I click in that cell where the rule is, I get the initial message. Heads up, warning alert. Employees can only work 10 hours or fewer unless approved by management. Okay, now before I try to enter a number, if I click in these other two cells, you can see the rule is not there. But fortunately, we can just, the rule is sort of like a format. So we can just use the fill handle to fill down and apply the same rule to these other two cells. So I'm going to grab the fill handle and just drag down. Okay. And now if I click in any of these three cells, I get the error or the warning message. Okay, so let's try Willie Mays. We'll go ahead and give him 5 overtime hours. When I hit enter, it accepts it because it's between 0 and 10. Now with Barry Bonds, we'll try 15. When I hit enter, here's my warning. Hold on there. Did you get prior approval? And then here's the yes, no. And so if I say yes, it'll accept it. And then the last one, let's try 17. Get the warning. And if I click on no, then I'm just right back into that cell and I can only enter 0 or 10. So I'll go ahead and enter 10 for Orlando there. Hit enter, and there we go. Those are the rules. Those are how it works once you add the rules. So that's under the data validation. If you want to get rid of the rule, you can just select the range, go to the data validation, and right here you can say clear all. And then okay. And you can see now the cells are cleared out as well. So that's how you set up a data validation rule for specific cells.